A leader, in the Stoic tradition, does not stand above their team, but among them. Their first duty is not to command, but to understand. Marcus Aurelius, charged with the weight of an empire, wrote not of power, but of perspective, to remember that each person comes with burdens, blind spots, and unseen struggles, that all are kin in nature, even when misguided in action. To lead well is to know those you lead. Each person carries a different fuel, some noble, some corrosive. Some are driven by pride, others by insecurity, still others by a hunger to prove their worth. The wise leader does not ignore this. They learn it. They observe quietly, when to challenge, when to support, when to step aside. They know that timing is not weakness, but wisdom. But the Stoic leader's gaze does not stop outward, it turns inward first. For what one cannot govern within, one cannot guide without. Marcus warned of poor fuels, anger, vanity, the need to prove others wrong, the craving for validation. These may drive short bursts of action, but they corrode from within. They make the leader brittle. A true leader replaces these with something enduring: service, justice, excellence for its own sake. A Stoic leader asks, what truly motivates me? Is it sustainable? Is it worthy of the role I carry? And they ask of each teammate, what drives them? How can I help transmute that drive into something cleaner, stronger, more aligned with virtue? Leadership is not manipulation, it is cultivation. It is understanding what lies beneath the surface and drawing out the best in others, while refining the self at the same time. Such leadership does not shout. It steadies. It earns trust through presence, patience, and principle. It knows that the true test comes not in ease, but in adversity, when the team wavers, when emotions rise, when outcomes are uncertain. In those moments, the Stoic leader does not inflame, they anchor. And in anchoring, they teach, not by words alone, but by example. In this way, both leader and team rise, not merely to perform, but to become. The numbers on the whiteboard told their own story, one of decline. Revenue dipping. Project timeline sliding. Below the metrics, faces strained with unspoken questions. The energy in the room was taut, not from urgency, but from quiet fatigue. Words were exchanged, next steps, revised forecasts, but Elena Voss read what went unsaid, effort no longer rising from purpose, but from obligation, from fear of falling short. She watched for a moment longer, then turned, leaving the room not in defeat, but in deliberate pause. Alone in her office, she closed the door behind her. The weight of the quarter pressed in. The easy path beckoned, to double incentives, to raise the pressure, to chase performance through force. But something in her stilled. She reached for a familiar volume on her desk, its spine worn, its counsel timeless. You have power over your mind, not over events. Marcus Aurelius's words met her again, not as comfort, but as call to practice. Control the mind. Shape the culture. Do not chase outcomes that cannot be commanded. She asked herself, what am I building? A team bound to applause, brittle under strain? Or one that can endure, that can master itself, that can rise even when results falter? The path was clear. First inward, her own posture must steady. Leadership was not about urgency. It was about presence. About creating conditions where mastery could take root. She would begin by removing distortions. No more hollow incentives. No more rushed praise to paper over cracks. The focus must return to the work itself, its rhythm, its discipline, its craft. Conversations would shift from performance to practice. Where are we consistent? Where are we learning? Failure would not be feared, but faced. Setbacks would not trigger blame, but reflection. What was within our control? What must be refined? She would speak less, observe more. Guide through example, not command. Praise the process, not just the outcome. And so the new rhythm began, not proclaimed, but lived. Not driven by fear of decline, but by a deeper resolve, to lead not for the next report, but for the strength of the culture itself. Leadership, she now saw, was not about driving performance to the breaking point. It was about anchoring a team to something steadier, discipline, clarity, shared purpose. This, too, was mastery. And in walking this path, Elena honored the wisdom of the Stoics, not by quoting it, but by embodying it, one deliberate choice at a time. From reflection, action. From action, habit. From habit, character. Leadership is not granted by title, but earned in the quiet choices that repeat across days and seasons. The Stoic leader builds not for acclaim, but for resilience, within themselves and within those they guide. The following principles are not rules, but rhythms, anchors to return to again and again. Principle 1. Begin with mastery of self. A leader who cannot master themselves cannot guide others. Before seeking to shift the team, steady your own mind. Ask, what fuels me? Is it purpose or vanity? Discipline or fear? Mastery begins inward. Control your speech. Govern your reactions. Align your actions with your values. Your presence will teach more than your instructions. Principle 2. Create conditions, not control. You do not command outcomes. You create the soil in which growth becomes possible. Resist the urge to force results. Instead, shape the environment, clarity of purpose, consistency of standards, space for reflection. Let the work itself guide the team toward excellence. A forced bloom fades. A nurtured one endures. Principle 3. Praise steadiness over performance. It is tempting to praise only outcomes, wins, metrics, moments of brilliance. But the Stoic leader honors steadiness, the discipline to show up fully, to refine the craft, to remain present in both triumph and setback. What you praise, you cultivate. Praise the process, not the spike. Principle 4. Allow failure to teach. Do not shield your team from failure. To do so is to deny them the forge of growth. Let them face setbacks with reflection, not shame. Guide them to ask, what was within my control? What can I refine? Failure, met with wisdom, becomes strength. The Stoic leader trusts this process. Principle 5. Lead with presence, not pressure. Leadership is not loud. It is steady. It is seen in how you hold the room when results falter. Do not amplify fear when the numbers dip. Anchor the team instead. Show by example, composed, clear, grounded. Your calm will become their compass. Principle 6. Align actions with service. A leader serves, not self-image, not fleeting ambition, but the growth of those they lead and the integrity of the culture they build. Ask often, am I leading to be seen, or to serve? Are my choices cultivating mastery in others, or dependence upon me? Let service, not status, shape your path. Principle 7. Let reflection precede reaction. The unexamined reaction breeds division. The examined one builds wisdom. A Stoic leader does not rush to judge, nor to act in haste. In moments of tension, pause. Ask, what truly matters here? What response serves the greater good, not the passing urge? Reflection tempers pride, clarifies motive, and restores proportion. In this space, right action arises. Principle 8. Lead for the long arc. It is easy to lead for the next quarter, the next report, the next accolade. But the Stoic leader sees further. They build for endurance, for a culture and a character that will outlast immediate gains. Do not sacrifice tomorrow's strength for today's applause. Guide your team with the long arc in mind, resilience over speed, integrity over image, mastery over momentary performance. In this, You build what will endure when outcomes cannot be controlled. Principle 9. Let the work shape you. Leadership is not a static state. It is a continual practice, a path that shapes the one who walks it. Each challenge, each failure, each triumph, if met with reflection, refines the leader. Ask often, how is this experience shaping me? Am I growing more patient, more just, more grounded? Or am I drifting toward pride, haste, or control? Let the work of leadership be your own forge. As you shape the team, let yourself be shaped. For mastery, in the end, is not in what you achieve, but in who you become through the practice.